It's the Happy Families podcast. It's the podcast for the time-poor parent who just wants answers now.
Hello, this is Dr. Justin Coulson, the parenting expert on Channel 9's Parental Guidance and author of 6 books. 7th book comes out in a couple of weeks' time. Stay tuned to the podcast for more. Hey, recently we were having a conversation on the Happy Families podcast and I just loved it. Decided to share a bit more about this, a highlight from the Happy Families podcast. There's this book that's called The Gift of Failure. Jessica Leahy is the author of that book, and she was kind enough to join Kylie and I on the Happy Families podcast. Kylie loved the book, The Gift of Failure, particularly where she wrote about getting the kids to help with chores around the house.
You talked about this idea and importance of chores. Can you tell us what this has to do with teaching our children about failure?
Well, first, I don't call them chores because I don't know about you, because I don't want to do something that's called a chore. I mean, you're set up for it to sound horrible, right? So, and it also makes it sound like it's something specific to the kid. What we call them in our house are household duties because they are part of being a part of the family. Like, you don't do them for money. So for example, there's no, in our house, there's an allowance situation, but it has nothing to do with doing household duties. Household duties are things you do as part of being a part of a family and sort of moving the family forward as a unit. And there is actually really good research to show that when kids are helping out with the family, helping move the family forward, especially during times of hardship, that kids tend to be less emotionally damaged by challenges in the family. When kids are feeling like they're, even if it's something as small as putting their dishes in the dishwasher or helping feed the dogs, that they are a part of maintaining the family and they're really involved in the family structure. So, and by the way, there's a fantastic book called The Opposite of Spoiled by Ron Lieber that is about raising kids with, to deal with money. And he is in total agreement. We do not pay kids to do work around the house.
Amen.
But you give kids an allowance in order to help them learn about spending, saving, and giving, and and budgeting. And that's a really so Ron Lieber's book, The Opposite of Spoiled, is brilliant, and I can't recommend it highly enough. So, having age-appropriate tasks for kids, and I actually break down in the book what kids are capable of at all the ages, along with what their cognitive development situation is, what their manual dexterity situation is, what they're capable of doing, and at what age. And when you look at that list, there's all kinds of things that even small kids can be doing. And one of the fun things about having written this book is people send me videos of things that their kids are doing and are so proud of. There was a dad sent me a picture or a video of his maybe 5-year-old son and 2-year-old daughter. And the 5-year-old son wanted to help with the laundry desperately, but it was a top loading washing machine. And so, he can't reach in there very well. So the little boy had set it up so that his little sister was supposed to hold on to his pant legs so that if he were to fall in the washing machine, and don't worry, the dad was right there. Obviously he was filming. And so he said, "You pull me out if I get stuck." And so he would pull the pieces out one at a time, hanging over the edge of the washing machine, hand them to his sister, and his little sister would put them in the dryer. And then at the end, it was really sweet. He didn't actually get stuck, but he pretended like he got stuck so his little sister could help him out. And she pulled him out of the washing machine.
Oh, that's beautiful.
And these moments, they're just so proud of themselves. And we don't give them opportunities to feel like a useful member of the family, a member of the family that's pulling some weight, that has a stake in the family and is not just some precious object that we give no responsibilities to.
That's Jessica Leahy from episode 264 of the Happy Families podcast. You can listen to the entire episode. It's number 264 by clicking on the link in the show notes or heading back through just scroll through. You'll find it's all the way there, talking about the gift of failure. Imagine a relationship where you felt seen, heard, and valued. One where, as your partner enters the front door, they see you and their eyes light up. A relationship like that is a gift. If you don't have it now, you can. The Happy Families webinar, Better Together, gives you the insight, tools, and support you need to have a happier relationship. Available now at the Happy Families webshop. The Happy Families membership is available right now. It's $13 a month for a basic membership or $18 a month for a premium membership. With that membership, you get so much value to make your family happier. you'll receive a monthly webinar. Recently, we've been talking about everything from emotion coaching to carrots and sticks. We've been talking about how to guide our children successfully, what to do about praising our kids, why that's a problem, how to minimize control, why competition can undermine our kids' well-being, and so much more. And the rest of this year's webinars have been penciled into the calendar, and you wouldn't believe how great the content will be. Normally, it's $30 a month for a webinar. If you're a Happy Families member, it's only $13 or $18. But on top of the webinars, you also receive a monthly Q&A with me. And if it's not a Q&A, it's an Ask the Expert, where I bring in experts who know how to answer the questions that you have about specific topics like technology or friendships or school issues. And the list goes on and on. Oh, by the way, we also do this thing once a quarter called a role play with Dr. J. 2 or 3 people get to spend some time while everyone else takes notes and listens carefully as we go through role plays. Here's what you do when your kids are having a hard time. They tell me what their problem is, and then I role play it as if they're the kid and I'm the parent. And then we swap so they get to discover just how hard it is to do it so that we can help you to improve your parenting and progress it in the right direction. Role play with Dr. J. Dr. J Q&A and Ask the Expert. That's all part of the Happy Families Premium membership. On top of that, if you're a premium member, you get access to our entire webinar video library. We are talking thousands of dollars worth of webinars, all sitting there waiting for you to consume so that you can get yourself essentially a PhD in parenting. And the list goes on. There's more stuff than I have time to tell you about. The value is amazing. Oh, by the way, if you get a 12-month membership, we give you 2 months free. So you pay up front, and instead of paying 12 times 13 or 12 times 18, I can't do the maths, but whatever it is, you just pay $130 or $180. We times it by 10 instead of by 12. You save money. It's all there. So that's the Happy Families membership. We don't usually do pretty hard sells on the podcast, but a couple of times during these school holidays, I wanted to make sure that you are aware of it because there's so much value and it makes such a difference in people's lives. The Happy Families membership. You can find it online at happyfamilies.com.au. The Happy Families podcast is produced by Justin Rulon from Bridge Media. Craig Bruce is our executive producer. And if you want more info about making your family happier, check out our memberships or just visit us at happyfamilies.com.au.